During one point in the interview, he said, "I loved my mother to death." And I guess he meant that literally. My name is Sergeant Brian Harris. I'm a homicide detective with the Houston Police Department.
Sergeant Brian Harris shares with us 3 techniques he uses to get his suspects to confess.
I begin an interrogation, first of all, by trying to establish some kind of rapport. My name's Brian. What's your name?
Christine Paola.
Paola? Is that Italian?
Yes.
Most of the folks we deal with, they've been yelled at, they've been screamed at most of their life, so that approach doesn't work, the tough guy approach. So we actually sit down and I talk to them about things that we may have in common. In the very beginning of the interview, I will use food. It helps me determine what kind of interview that's going to take place. If the person can't touch their food, they don't eat, that tells me that I have a shot at getting a confession.
Snickers bar? You don't want any of your food anymore?
If somebody can freely eat and drink, they're not intimidated at all about being in an interview room, and certainly not with a homicide cop. And so that tells me I'm probably dealing with a sociopath. And so my approach is on a non-emotional level. I may have to lay out the facts of the case and woo them over by having overwhelming evidence. One of the things that I do to get the suspects to confess is to build them up, make them appear better than they really are. I'll give them a choice. Oftentimes I talk about a choice between justice and mercy. Justice meaning giving people what they deserve, or do they deserve mercy, giving them what they need, not what they want, but what they need. We talked earlier about justice and mercy. Remember that? We talked about things such as people getting what they deserve and people getting what they need, okay, being mercy, okay? And they tend to reach out for mercy. But there's a part of that they never quite fully listen to, because I tell them if they try to manipulate mercy, justice has to kick in. It would be helpful if you would give us some insight to what's going on. Okay?
Like mercy for him or justice for him or me?
Well, when you mean for him, who are you talking about?
And justice for him.
Okay, justice for him.
Yes.
Him being who?
Chris Snyder.
Okay, mercy for who?
Me.
Okay. Right. Well,
I
tell me why.